When it comes time to sell your house, you're looking for a home seller checklist that is easy and practical. And selling your house is a huge decision. You want to make sure it's going to go well. You want to make sure you can get top dollar in today's market. And if you're looking for that home seller's checklist that is easy and practical, that's exactly what I have in today's episode. Selling your house is a big decision. I think everybody could agree to that. And before you sell your house, I think what you have to do is you have to have a checklist of events for the time you make the decision till the time you're handing the keys over to a new owner and you're walking out of there with your closing check. A lot happens from that point, from deciding to sell to actually completing the sale. And today I wanted to talk about all the different things that you need to think about throughout this process. And it starts with prep and how you're going to present your house. The biggest thing that you could do, obviously, I think, look, everybody should know this, but you've got to have a clean house and it's got to be decluttered, all right? Nobody wants to buy a house that looks full because your stuff might appear to be junk to somebody else. And I know that hurts people's feelings, but it is true, right? So when I say declutter, it doesn't even mean shove stuff into a closet because you want your closet space to look big and inviting as well. So it might be renting a storage unit. It might be having a garage sale, whatever it may be, to get your place decluttered. Other little things that you're going to want to pay attention to. Your kitchen countertops should be close to empty, right? People want counter space. They don't want to see 8 different sets of appliances on top of your counters. They definitely don't want to see dirty dishes in the sink during a showing. I think it's a great idea if you haven't painted your house recently. A fresh coat of paint goes a long way. So there's a lot to do just in the prep for your presentation of your home. Once you have that done, then you got to start thinking about your staging of the house. And when I say staging, I don't necessarily mean, although in some cases it might be worth hiring a staging company to come in. If you have a vacant home, right? Maybe you inherited grandma's house and it's vacant. It might be smart to hire a staging company to come in and set it up as though someone were living there. But when I say staging for most sellers, it's just with your own stuff, right? So set up your furniture in a way that looks like it gives the room great flow. This one's for my wife. Maybe you want to go out and buy new pillows. I think we've purchased more pillows than any married couple ever in my family. My wife loves pillows, but you put a nice pillow set, maybe appropriate to a holiday or a season. It's just going to make your house look that much more inviting for a potential buyer. I actually like as much light as possible in a house. If you have a big giant window that a lot of light gets through, you might want to consider adding a house plant or something like that to make it look fresh and inviting. All these different things that we could do with staging to make your house look great. Then you also have your pre-listing to do. Hopefully this is when you're sitting down with a realtor and you're talking about strategy. You should be going over a comparative market analysis at this point. Your realtor should be giving you some suggestions on what they think an appropriate price point would be based on past sales. You should have a pricing strategy, a strategy where you're not going to list it too high, trying to get into a negotiation, a pricing strategy where you're going to list it at a point where you might find buyers who would be willing to compete for your house to get your price to go up. And then you're also going to want to think about a listing strategy as well. When is the right time to list my house? Me personally, I like to list houses on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. It gives me some time to market that first weekend, maybe set up an open house, strike while the iron is hot. I think it's a great idea to have an open house early in a listing because when a listing is new and fresh, that's when it has the most eyes on it. At that point, you should also be talking to your realtor about what their marketing plan is. And at the very minimum, their marketing plan should be professional photo and professional video. And there's a lot of different ways to do the professional video. Slideshow style, walkthrough style, whatever it may be. I would definitely want that to be a requirement. I think it's a really good idea to ask a realtor to show you another house that they marketed so you can see what their style is, what their photos look like, what their videography looks like. What we're finding is that houses that have great photos, houses that have great videos, they just get more people through the front door, guys. It's that simple. And if you want your house to sell, it starts with getting as many people interested in it as possible. Not only will that sell your house quickly, but it will sell your house for the most money. So that's something that we need to think about. And then you also have to have a plan for your showings and if you're going to have an open house or anything like that. Remember, I say this all the time. Once your house is for sale, it's always for sale. If somebody wants to see your house at a normal time, you have to make it accessible, all right? You cannot make your house difficult to show. 2:00 on a Saturday is a completely normal time to see the house. You got to make it work. 6 p.m. on a Wednesday is a completely normal time to see a house. You have to make it work. So you have to have a strategy for your showings. You have to have a strategy for your open house. Just something as simple as making sure all the lights are on in all the rooms at an open house to make it look bright and inviting. Getting rid of your pets, all right? It's not another realtor's job to watch out for your cat. We've gone over that numerous times. You can't have a dog that would make a family with a child uncomfortable to walk through your home. All right. So you have to have plans for that. I hate saying this, but you have to remove valuables from a house. All right. Look, if something's really important to you or if something's really valuable to you, once you list it, you should take it out of the house because quite frankly, in today's world, you never know. So if there's something that's really important, secure those valuables. And then finally, you have to think about your offer. When you accept an offer, if you're in a position where you have multiple offers, how do we compare them? Is price the only thing we're looking at? Or are we interested in the terms of the deal? Are we interested in the financing of the deal? A great realtor should walk you through that right up until the closing day. Get you through the entire sales process of prepping your house for inspection, prepping your house for appraisal, making sure everything is done before that final walkthrough, right up until the time where you're sitting down at the closing table, handing the keys to the new buyer and moving on. So if you're out there and you're thinking about selling your house, or if you're a realtor who would like what we use for our home seller checklist, shoot me a message and I will send it to you for free. I think it's very, very important. If you're in a position where you're an owner and you're selling your home, it's something that you probably only do a few times in the course of your life. Maybe you only do it once in your entire life. It helps to have help. So just ask, I'll send you our checklist. It'll be sure to make the home selling process that much better for you, that much more profitable for you. And that's my goal, to help as many people as we can. Thanks for joining us for today's episode, everybody. If you want to hear more content, follow us at Real Estate Right Now Pod on YouTube. Once you're there, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. And if you want to follow me directly, check me out. It's Dave Wychak at Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, all the socials that you're already using.